Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Solskjaer is failing Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. Solskjaer is playing Jadon Sancho out of position. He's played him on that left hand side a few times. And he's not effective on the left hand side. He's much more effective on the right hand side, because the right hand side is Jadon Sancho's predominant position. You can also play Sancho centrally. Sancho didn't start against Everton last weekend, but he did come on. Sancho has not enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. But it does take some time for some players to settle in. And I'll revert back to what I said before. Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly. Now, the other week, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Jadon Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million, with add-ons included. Man United paid like 73 million up front. And Sancho's under contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Now, yesterday I gave you the news on Donny van de Beek. Solskjaer is ready to let Donny van de Beek go. Many clubs are in for Donny van de Beek, including Everton. Everton remain interested in Van de Beek. Don't forget, Everton were close to signing Donny van de Beek on loan, but Solskjaer rejected Van de Beek's exit. Donny van de Beek's agent is said to be working hard to find a new club for his client. Not so long ago, Van de Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van de Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Van de Beek doesn't get enough game time at Man United. You know, he didn't play any part against Villarreal, he didn't play any part against Everton at the weekend. He played the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Carabao Cup and he put a very good performance out. He also started against Young Boys in the Champions League a few weeks ago, but Solskjaer taken Van de Beek off at half-time in that game, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that because Van de Beek was our best player in the first half of that game. This season is Van de Beek's second full season at Man United. Last season he made 36 appearances in all competitions, but most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van de Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. I haven't really had much of a perception on Van de Beek at Man United, but in general he is a good player. You know, we got Van de Beek for 40 million with add-ons included. and he's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. I was talking with you about Cristiano Ronaldo yesterday. You know, could Cristiano Ronaldo get Solskjaer sacked? You know, Solskjaer got criticised for not starting Cristiano Ronaldo against Everton. You know, Solskjaer came out and said that he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo. Well, Gary Neville recently said that Ronaldo had been annoyed with Solskjaer after Manchester United's 1-1 draw with Everton. You know, Ronaldo stormed down the tunnel. Ronaldo's done really well since he's re-signed. He's already scored 5 goals. Ronaldo saved us against Villarreal. You know, he scored in the 95th minute of stoppage time. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have won that game. Ronaldo can't keep saving Solskjaer at Man United. Now, not so long ago, it says Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United. And then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. But prior to the Aston Villa game the other week, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing at Man United into his 40s. He's 36 at the moment. Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. You know, Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt. We got him for 19.8 million with add-ons included. So yeah, Manchester United are happy with Solskjaer. Man United still fully committed to Solskjaer and have no plans to replace the club legend as manager, despite a poor run of results. Obviously, Solskjaer is under pressure because we've won 2 of our last 6 games in all competitions. And I said to you, didn't I, if results don't improve, Solskjaer will be sacked. The vast majority of Manchester United fans are Ollie out. Maybe there's still some United fans that are Ollie in. Solskjaer is out of excuses. Because, you know, we've got a very good squad. It's a title winning squad. So reflecting on that, we should be winning the league this season. Solskjaer got very good backing in the summer transfer window. You know, John Murtough backed him. Darren Fletcher backed him. Woodward's backed him. And surprisingly, the Glazers backed him. And Man United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. You know, Solskjaer got the players he wanted to recommend in. You know, obviously we made 4 signings in the summer transfer window. Brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid. And we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. And we spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window this year. Solskjaer's enjoyed, 5 transfer windows now as permanent Man United manager. You've obviously got some Man United fans that are demanding Antonio Conte in to replace Solskjaer. There's also some United fans that want Zidane in. Solskjaer has to win a trophy to basically save his job. Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And a few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager, and I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for him because he's got big expectations to exceed. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. And like I mentioned, we made a mistake giving him that contract because I can assure he won't see the contract out, and a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. My two biggest concerns about Solskjaer is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. Because like I've already said, he hasn't won out with us yet. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles and that with Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff. He won nothing at Cardiff. His record was disastrous at Cardiff. He only enjoyed a short tenure with them. The reason he got sacked is because he ended up getting them relegated. Ollie managed a Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of this team grow and develop. And the other big concern about Ollie is his decision making. There's a lot of United fans that have got strong reservations about his decision making because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. There's not all negatives regarding Ollie, there's also positives as well you've got to put into the equation. Solskjaer has brought consistency back in certain aspects. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, Solskjaer has signed 14 players. And we spent like 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's coming. He's got rid of players permanently. He's also loaned quite a few players out. Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he showed he would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Progress has been made under Ollie as well, Got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. The FA Cup quarter-final he got us to last season. He got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager. Solskjaer got us a second place finish last season. And he got us a third place finish in his first full season. And we've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ollie. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer mentioned that he wants new contracts for 5 players. So there you go. And despite me criticising Solskjaer a lot, I think he is our best manager since Ferguson. You know, Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we give Solskjaer the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. But I revert back to what I've said on a lot of my other videos. With Solskjaer being a legend of the club, that's what's basically saved his job. Disregarding being a legend, I can assure he wouldn't have been here by now. You know, this December, Solskjaer would have been in charge of the club for 3 years. But Ollie knew when he'd taken over at Man United that it was going to be a massive job, even though he knows the club through thick and thin, and he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. And to be honest with you, I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. Obviously, Solskjaer's not going to replicate what Ferguson did. You know, no manager's going to replicate what Ferguson did at Man United or in general, not in my lifetime anyway. Obviously, Ferguson brought success to Man United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. Ferguson was a very long-serving manager as well. He enjoyed a 27-year tenure at Man United. But Ferg didn't settle in straight away at Man United. You know, he didn't win out in his first 4 years, so that just indicates that it takes some managers time to settle in. You know, if it weren't for Fergie, you know, wouldn't have had any success, because before Ferguson was inconsistent. We weren't good under Ron Atkinson. We weren't that good under Wilf McGuinness. I think Wilf McGuinness enjoyed an 18-month tenure at Man United. We weren't good under Franco Farrell either. We got relegated under Franco Farrell back in 1974. That's 40 odd years ago now. But since Ferguson, we haven't been the same team, have we? You know, a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. Since Ferguson, we sacked 3 managers. We sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. And we're not even really known as a sacking football club. You know, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers. So Ole's our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. But like I've said, you know, when results aren't going our way and when we're inconsistent, and when we've been inconsistent, not all of the blame stems from Ole. You know, he's accountable for certain things, but there's players at Man United that have got to take responsibility for some of them defeats, because there's still some players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. Now, I'm expecting Manchester United to sell players next year. There's a very good chance that we're going to sell Martial next year, because Martial isn't good enough to represent the club. Martial surprisingly started against Everton last weekend, and he scored his first goal since February. Martial also played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. He struggled to make an impact in that one. But Martial is finished at Man United. He said the other week that Man United are ready to sell Anthony Martial in January. Man United value Martial at 40 million. Now, Martial has been a long-term target for Tottenham, and it said Martial's open to joining another Premier League club. Barcelona are considering making a move for him next year. Atletico Madrid were in for Martial last summer. Don't forget, Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day in the summer transfer window. But before the start of this season, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial as he remains part of his plans. The best season Martial had was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Martial's been at Man United for 6 years. He's scored 79 goals in all competitions. You know, Martial's got 3 years left on his contract. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. Last season, Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. Don't forget, Solskjaer was the one that gave Martial that number 9 shirt. Yeah, there's a good chance Van der Beek's going to leave next year. Cavani will leave in January or at the end of the season. Cavani surprisingly started against Everton. He had a good chance from a downward header, produced a good save from Jordan Pickford. But Cavani has lost his place in the team because obviously we re-signed Ronaldo. Cavani has got under a year left on his contract at Man United. Back in May, he signed a 1-year contract extension. Cavani's on over 200 grand a week at Man United. Cavani was out with injury earlier on this season. But I can't say I want him to leave because he's made an impact since he's come in. You know, Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. Real Madrid wanted Cavani in the summer transfer window, but the club failed to make a move happen. Real Madrid will wait until next summer for their main attacking targets, Mbappe and Haaland. Barcelona try to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. I think Barcelona could reignite their interest in January. There's a very good chance Juan Mata will leave next year as well. Juan Mata's contract expires next summer. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. I can't understand why Man United give him that 1-year contract extension. You know, Juan Mata doesn't really get in our 11, and he's lost that yard of pace, and he's aging up. But despite that, I reckon that he's had a good career at Man United. Juan Mata has been at Man United for like 7.5 years now, so he's been a long-serving player. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions. We got Mata in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. So we brought him in under the David Moyes era at the first part of last season. Juan Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Lingard, I'm expecting us to offload him next year as well. There's a very good chance we're going to offload Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Dalot played against Villarreal. The only reason he played is because Wan-Bissaka couldn't play because Bissaka was suspended because he got sent off in the 2-1 defeat to Young Boys. Dalot was poor against Villarreal. He played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup though, and he put a good performance out against them. Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan last season, so reflecting on that, he gained some experience. And we got Dalot 3 years ago from Porto. We paid 19 million for him. Dalot's under contract with Man United till 2023. Eric Bailly, you know, a good chance he'll leave next year as well. I don't want him to leave because he's a good centre half. My only element of concern about Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect, he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024, with an option of a further year. Phil Jones will leave next year as well, and there's a very good chance that Alex Telles will leave. But like I've already said to you before, you know, there's quite a few players that don't get in our team. You know, you've got Telles that doesn't really get in the team, Jones doesn't get in the team, Bailly and Lindelof don't get in the team now following the arrival of Varane in the summer transfer window. Dalot doesn't get in the team hardly. You know, Van der Beek doesn't get a lot of game time. Juan Mata doesn't get in the team. Cavani doesn't really get in the team. Lingard doesn't get in the team much either. Amad Diallo doesn't really get in the team. Well, he can't play anyway at the moment because he's out with injury. I said a while ago, though, that Amad Diallo looks a good asset for the first team squad because he's played in the first team a few times, but not much. So there you go. The only injuries we've got, obviously Harry Maguire, he's out for a few weeks. He's a big miss for Man United. So Lindelof's playing alongside Varane for the time being till Maguire's back. Rashford is still out, but Rashford is very close to returning. That's very good news from a Man United perspective. I think Martial also recently sustained a knock. So I think that's it. Recently, I give you the news on Paul Pogba. Man United set Paul Pogba deadline. Man United want Paul Pogba's future to be sorted by Christmas, as the Red Devils hope he will sign a new contract worth £400,000 a week. Pogba receives 290 grand a week at the moment on his current contract. Well, Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Well, earlier on this season, it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. But I hope Paul Pogba signs a new contract because he's enjoyed a very good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists and he produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. A few weeks ago, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus for Man United on a free next summer, as Mino Raiola said that cheering is still in Paul Pogba's heart. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juve before he rejoined Man United, but he said the other week that Juventus have no plans to re-sign Pogba next summer. Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga. He's been relentlessly linked with Real Madrid. His PSG have been in for him. Don't forget, PSG are prepared to offer him £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. Barcelona have been in for him. Inter Milan have been in for him before. He said not so long ago that Man United must sell Pogba in January to buy players. A few weeks ago, Pogba's brother Matthias Pogba came out and said that Paul Pogba's yet to decide on his future, and he said his contract situation is up in the air. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. There will be more videos coming up later. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.